Alright guys, so today, as promised, here's the tutorial for my new design that I'm calling S-turns. Here we go, right? So what you're going to need is 4 feet of one color. That color will be your sidebars. And then you're going to need 5 feet of your S color. Now, this is for a 7 3/4 inch bracelet, so yours may differ in size. You'll just kind of have to figure out pretty much a foot per inch of cord. So you'll also need a scissors, a ruler, a lighter, and you don't need a paracord jig, but it makes it a lot easier. So alright, well let's get started. So the first thing I will say is, to save this video from being an hour long, I'm going to start with a 2-strand cord that I pre-made with a knot and loop closer. You can use buckles, you can kind of do it however you want, but just so you're aware, I'm using a cord that I pre-made. So I'm going to get that loaded up on my jig here and get it stretched. Not super tight, but kind of tight. Yep. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 cords and melt them together. Sorry, as I'm working around the camera here. So you're going to take your 2 ends, right? You take your 2 ends and your lighter. And my lighter's giving me trouble, of course. We're going to get both of these ends melded. Push them together. I like to let them melt for a minute or 2 and then kind of roll around it in my fingers. Kind of makes it a little bit cleaner of a joint. It's not quite as big of a bump. Right. Okay, so next, we're on to weaving. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is start out with just a standard cobra knot. Okay, so we're going to take the tan over, the black around, under, and kind of make sure that that spot where your 2 cords are melded together kind of ends up on the back. So you got to finagle with that a little bit. But okay. So we have our cobra knot. Now we're pretty much ready to start this bad boy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring the black and red cord behind the core. Okay, so it looks like that. Now the next thing you want to do is take your tan around the back of the red cord, like that. And then you're going to take the end of your brown cord through the loop. I'm going to pull this tight. I think it is easier if you work all the slack out of the tan first before you pull it tight. And then there we have our first knot. So you see what that looks like there? Right? Okay, now all we're going to do for the rest of this bracelet is alternate sides. So now we're over here. Let me get zoomed out a little bit. Okay. I'm going to take the black under the core again. I'm going to take the tan around the black and red. And then again, we're going to go through, down through the loop with the brown. Again, I think it works better if you work most of the slack up out of the tan first. See how you get this long kind of shoulder here on this side. It's not pulled tight, this part here. So to kind of combat that, that's where I think it works better to kind of pull the slack all the way down first and then just kind of cinch it up. And there's your second knot. Okay, so we'll do it again. Let me bring the camera in a little bit closer for this one. Okay, black and red behind the core. We're going to take the tan over top of the black and red. So again, black and red behind the core. Then we take our tan and go over, wrap it around, and then down through the loop we created on this side. So there again, now you see we have this longer strand here. So we want to pull that slack out just like that. Work it over, tighten it up. Okay. Again, black and red under the core, tan around the black and red, down through the hole, work up that slack, tighten it up. Okay, again, black and red under the core, brown around the black and red. So now we have that. And now we're going to go down through the black and red, work up that slack, and there's that. Again, black and red behind the core, tan loop over and around, down through the loop on the other side. Pull it up, work around that slack, and then we have another one. Okay, so last one, behind the core, again, make our loop around the black and red, down through the hole, work up that slack, just like that. Now, I'm going to work down the rest of the bracelet off camera, but I'll come back when I get to the end and show you how to finish it off. Alright guys, so to finish this thing off here, I'm going to show you the last knot. So we're going to do this one more time. So behind the core, bring our tan under and around through the loop, work that slack, okay, now, so for our last knot, you guys are going to get mad at me because this is so simple, but all we're going to do to finish this thing off is simply tie another cobra knot. So take it out of the jig here. So we're going to go over, I took the red around, come behind the core, and then up through the loop. There it is. If you can see that. Weber Cobra nut. Now all we're going to do is snip this. Oh, this lighter. Give that a little melt. Flatten it out. One side done. So on this side, snip. Man, if you guys have any recommendations for good lighters, drop them in the comments because I hate these things. There it is. The S-Turns bracelet by yours truly. Guys, all I'm going to say is I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I'm just starting out with this whole YouTube thing, so share it, make videos on it. But all I ask is that you just give me credit in return. So, Cole Klinger with Bald Eagle Designs, the S-Turn bracelet. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day.